In the beginning of my natural hair care journey, I used to do hot oil treatments all the time as a pre-shampoo treatment. Back then, I would simply add a few oils together and call it a day. But today, the very first ingredient I'm adding is emulsifier. You're probably wondering why am I adding a emulsifier. We'll get to that later on. Somewhere down the line, as I became more interested in cosmetic formulation, I started creating more detanglers for my pre-poo treatment instead. And if you've been following me for a while, you probably know that flaxseed gel became one of my favorites. As much as I love a good homemade gel, hot oil treatments can be just as effective when it comes to helping with detangling. As you can see, I added cocoa butter and coconut oil. These ingredients together provide such a nice scent that I couldn't resist but add them to this hot oil treatment. And of course, they provide other benefits. I didn't add them just for the scent. Going back to what I was saying, eventually hot oil treatments took a back seat in my hair care routine. But recently, I started thinking about them again and realized something interesting. Hot oil treatments can work just as well as homemade gels when it comes to helping with detangling. While gels provide sleep on the surface of the hair, hot oil treatments offer their unique benefits. They help lubricate the hair strands, reduce friction between them, and creates a protective layer that helps combat dryness before cleansing. They are especially useful before shampooing because they can help shield the hair from the harsh stripping surfactants found in cleansers. When you choose oils rich in lauric acid, such as coconut oil and babassu oil, the benefits go even further. This acid has a unique ability to penetrate deeply into the hair shaft, helping reduce protein loss, minimize breakage, and protect the hair from water-related damage. So, for today's formula, I'm going back to one of the treatments that played a big role at the start of my hair care journey, but this time around with the knowledge I've gained as a formulator. Most people wouldn't expect to find an emulsifier in a hot oil treatment. I certainly didn't when I first started formulating. But I wasn't looking for an ingredient to mix oil and water. I was looking for a better hair feel. That's where this emulsifier comes in. It helps transform a simple blend of oils and butters into a treatment that feels smoother, spreads more easily, and rinses out without leaving the hair feeling overly greasy. Now, we let all the ingredients melt before we add the heating sensitive ingredients. In case you haven't noticed, I also added a fatty alcohol, which will create an elegant texture and help to thicken up the bar. It adds a sleeky sleep that makes the oil treatment much easier to spread and apply evenly on the hair. Now we add the heat sensitive ingredients. Let's start with vegetable glycerine, which is a humectant. Then we will add vitamin E, which is an antioxidant, and it will slow down the rancidity of oils and butters. Now we have Eco Sleek, which is a emollient. I chose sweet orange oil as my essential oil because it complements coconut oil and cocoa butter. And finally, the preservative to preserve the formula, just in case if you want to apply this hot oil treatment on wet hair. And now we mix before we pour everything into the mold. You're probably wondering how to use this oil treatment bar, and the good news is there are a few different ways to enjoy it. The first option is to simply warm up the bar between your hands until it starts to melt, then apply the oils directly to your hair. You can also glide the bar directly onto your hair strands. That's actually one of the reasons why I decided to include the preservative in this formula, just in case the bar comes into contact with wet hair or water during use. Another option is to cut off a small piece of the bar and melt it before application, which is perfect if you prefer a more traditional hot oil treatment experience. Now, if your plan is to melt every single time a small piece of the bar and you are confident that no water will be introduced to the product, you can skip the preservative altogether. Whichever method you choose, apply the treatment to your hair before shampooing. Leave it on for a few hours or overnight, and then continue with your wash day routine as usual. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Bye.